All right, so doing a little change up on this and doing a video just to kind of journal my way through this whole process. So I am 69 days away from my surgery. And today my kids had a little running club 5K. So I wanted to come out and run that so that I can give myself a bit of a baseline. I'm not what I would consider to be a runner, but I do run a couple times a week, and I've run, the last few years. I have noticed some drop off, and so I decided, hey, let me come out and run this. So again, I can give myself a baseline. I can look at it. I can kind of document how I feel, because otherwise I would just forget. So I believe I said it in the last video, but the end of last year, so only 4 or 5 months ago, I was able to run pretty much continuously for 6 miles. And now, again, at 5K, so 3.1 or whatever the exact measurement is, that's been a little bit of a struggle lately as far as on the treadmill when I run in the gym. And this is the first time I've ran outside and actually done a race in probably about a year. But I did finish it in 26 minutes, which I'm pretty happy about it, even though that I feel like I've had a decline. And then as far as how I feel and felt as I ran it, probably a mile in, I started feeling what I guess is tightness right through here on the left side of my chest. And that's about what it is whenever I'm on the treadmill now. I feel like that's something I've had for a while, and maybe just didn't contribute it to chest tightness, because I felt like chest tightness would be more across here and just feel more of a stronger pain maybe. But it's just a kind of a minor tightness. And so at 1 mile, I walked just for 20 seconds or so to keep up with, just kind of catch my breath. Really wasn't short of breath, but it had that tightness. And then picked up from there. Actually, I guess I stopped running. I felt the tightness around 1 mile. I stopped running and started walking around 1.7 miles. So that was, a pretty good little run before I felt like I needed to walk. So again, walked for 20, 30 seconds, and then started going again. Same basic pace. I didn't really change pace too much during the whole course of the run. And then about 2 3/4 miles, so another mile down the road, that chest tightness was still there ever since the 1 mile mark. But then again, it got to a point where then it just felt like it was hard to take a deep breath and catch my breath. And again, I don't think I would consider it shortness of breath, because it is, it's only on one side. And I wasn't really huffing and puffing. I mean, watching this video, it may prove to be different, but wasn't really huffing and puffing as I would think shortness of breath would be. More of, I just felt like I couldn't get the full breath that I wanted. So that was again about 2.7 miles or so. And then I just decided, hey, let me finish the rest of this 30.1, just around half a mile left. So finished that. I would say the tightness in the chest was more during that last bit. It felt like it just was persisted more, and again, a little bit of a not being able to catch my complete breath. But finished it, like I said, 26 minutes for the full 5K, and then now just kind of walking to cool down. Heart rate still, 10 minutes later is up 106. My watch measured it. My average heart rate during the race was 152 beats per minute. According to my watch, my resting heart rate's around 52 to 53 beats a minute. So This has been about normal for my exercising. Running gets it up a little higher. I peaked around 166 beats per minute just a couple times as I throughout the course of the run. So that's where I am now. Again, 69 days out from having my my valve replaced. You know, the other thing, I feel a little bit dead in the legs as I run, and I don't know if that's because, again, if I'm getting older, I'm not running as much as I have at one point in my life, or if it's because, I don't know, maybe I'm not getting the oxygen and through the blood, which I guess is the problem here, right? So, you know, that's where I am. Again, this is just to kind of document to help me remember. So my goal next year, so I'm running with, you know, from little kids all the way up to 17-year-olds, and my goal next year is to come out here and beat everybody. So this is my mark now. Hopefully in a year I'll be back and can shave some time off of that and go the distance without feeling like I'm out of breath. So that's that part. And then also just to kind of document a few other things as I kind of walk and think through this, because the more I've thought about it as I'm making these videos, if anybody watches it, if it helps anybody, or if it's just for me, to help me get my thoughts out, because I'm not really a journaler. So I'm kind of using this way. But, you know, I guess there's a lot of emotions in this, and just kind of where I'm feeling right now. I really feel like that I am not concerned about the surgery itself. Obviously I'm anxious because it is a major ordeal, but I'm not I don't know, I'm not concerned that it won't go well. I am extremely confident in the surgeon that I picked, the hospital that I'll be having this surgery in. I've heard great things from friends on both, and folks in the industry. So like I feel extremely confident in this surgery. You know, at this point, I've learned enough and watched enough other stuff that you can kind of see in the channels that I've got linked to this channel to give me an idea of what's going on. So I think what sounds like pretty common, my concerns really are around, for me, you know, waking up in ICU, waking up potentially with the breathing tube. You know, the surgeon said, hey, most of our patients don't remember it because we try to get it out so early, but I'm not looking forward to that. Just that feeling of, I don't know, maybe I really don't know what it's going to feel like, but you know, I know I won't actually feel it, but just knowing that I'm not breathing and that kind of thing on my own, not looking forward to that. I think that's a pretty common feeling across the board with any of these open heart surgeries. And then, you know, not looking forward to the drainage tubes. Just something about that seems not fun. And you know, having them removed seems very uncomfortable to me. I know these are both two like very momentary things compared to the big surgery, but that's again, those are the things that I'm looking at. I did talk to a friend last night who's a nurse that said, hey, at least you'll be asleep when they place the tubes, because there are plenty of times when surgeries have to happen and you're awake when they place drainage tubes. So that helps put it in perspective for me. I'm thankful for that. And then, you know, just adjusting to what life will be like with a blood thinner. Again, I've seen enough encouraging things to make me know that life will continue. It will be a new normal, but life will continue. So I'm not super concerned, but that's obviously in my mind. And then, you know, the biggest, hardest piece is family. You know, my wife is obviously having a hard time with this emotionally. It's something we've both known about for our whole relationship, but it still feels sudden. And then on the the piece with kids. I do have 4 kids, so they're spread out in ages, and they all have different, I guess, thoughts on it. And I've had some talks already, but just planning out that and helping them understand what's happening. But I do know, like, it I've said it, and I kind of believe it. Um, in a way, I have the luxury of just experiencing this. So we'll go to the hospital, um, and again, I'm sure I can't imagine what my nerves will be that day. Hopefully, I'll have something to help with those. I'm sure I will if I need it. But again, knowing that that will be a kind of a rush of emotion, but then I get to be there, and got a lawnmower here. He doesn't seem to mind. Um, but I get to go in, get hooked up to whatever medicines and then anesthesia, and I get to go to sleep. Um, you know, and I won't remember anything until I wake up. So whether that's 4 hours long or 6 hours or whatever it is, and at the same time, my wife and family and everyone else um, has that entire time to sit in the waiting room and think and watch the clock. So again, those are just thoughts that are in my mind. I don't know if that even makes sense, but uh, it's hard to be in this situation where obviously it's a major life event for me, but it's not only me. And feeling like while I feel pretty settled in everything, um, I still have to be, and I guess all of us who go through this in a certain place have to be somewhat of a caretaker and encourager along the way too. So it's just a mixed bag, but again, just over 2 months away. Again, ran today, still feel good. You know, probably have lost a little bit, and I have some symptoms, but that's kind of where we are. But like I said, I think I'll probably end up doing a few more of these along the way too, just to kind of document how I feel, so I can go back and look after this surgery and after I'm recovered and all of that, just to help me, because otherwise I'm going to forget. I don't write anything down, just never have. So there we go. That's it for now, and who knows, I'll make another one sometime.